Hello, Cura team, and welcome back to Anno 1800 on PS5 console. We are now up to 31 hours 56 minutes played, so that's about 4 hours, give or take, from where we were last time. 3 hours, I think, 28:40 something. So it took a little bit of a while, and we came pretty close to the bone. I'll talk about some of that in a minute. But here we are, and we're ready to promote some of our people to investors. So let's just pop our cherry, and there we go. We got an unhappy investor. So there you go. Investors is on the way. We have started with investors. So let us start with an health check, and we'll
start. Every right to have high expectations.
Thank you. We'll start over on the New World, and we'll start at Cruzmia. So here we are out at Cruzmia, and everyone is mostly happy except for the people who had a fire. It was an explosion in one of my mines, as I recall. It's funny how all the people out here are either from Yorkshire or the South Country. Anyway, yeah, Cruzmia, what are we looking at finances wise? So finances wise, we're in the black, 1,000 in the black. So that's good. So I managed to balance everything out, and I managed to fiddle around with a couple of bits and pieces. You remember we were doing chocolate? Yeah, I just got rid of it. For one thing, everywhere's chock full. Oh, sorry. We're just we're all full up. So it was a waste of time and it was a waste of money, and I got rid of it because I needed it for other things, which are still it is still full. So we're continuing to fill up and fill up. So these guys are pretty good. They say they're full, but they're not that full. They have plantains, they have some rum, bearing in mind that they're trading a lot of things. They have some bolts of cloth, they have enough ponchos. We're getting in some caoutchouc, which I need, because I need that in the old world. And they're doing okay for tortillas, and they're continuing to make coffee and bombins, and we're now supplying them with enough beer. They now have enough cigars. They've got some sewing machines. They've still got plenty of chocolates. They've got some things to move around, which is all well and good and well and good. So they are doing okay. Over on my other island, that is running at a profit of 836, just about, which is not too bad considering I've now switched on all the oil. So all the oil is on, and we are trading oil, and we are 303. So we're just keeping up with the oil needs that we currently have, with the supplies that we currently have, given that all of these oil are running. So the fact that we're in the black to only 1,000 is actually pretty good news. And again, I tweaked a few things, moved a few things, but predominantly with this, it's about trade. So it's about ensuring that they have enough plantains in particular, and also for the obreros, making they have enough tortillas, which they've just got enough of, and ponchos and a little bit of rum, and so they need more beer. We can get them more beer. We can get them more beer from the old world. They have a bunch of sugar because they're making chocolate. That's fine. Fine. Everything's fine. So they're all fine. So the new world's fine, and it's all done and it's all dusted and it's ticking along, and that's okay. They could do with some more beer, which is fine. We can sort that. Are you stuck? What are you doing there?
Wish you had a vessel this stately, do you?
Not really. You appear to have run aground on my rocks. What are you doing here? Are you stuck, Rachel? Okay. Suit yourself. That's the old world. The old world's good. In terms of, sorry, wrong one. Still the wrong one. In terms of, no, still the wrong one. Island ownership. In terms of island ownership, nothing's changed. So they're at war, which is fine, or they were, but they haven't done anything and they haven't bothered me. So that's fine. That must be the pirates. Um, yeah, and nobody owns nothing, and everybody's all fine and fine and fine. So that's the new world. In the old world, it's been a bit of a challenge. Back to Remedy. I have tried my darndest, and I still can't get it into the black. It's been close on occasion, but I still can't get it into the black, and that is bearing in mind that if we have a look here, and you have a look at this thing across the top, I have just published a newspaper, which is the only reason I'm making so much money, where I really went to town, which is why there's a plus 50% chance of a riot, because I really, really needed a lot of money. And that is the importance, really, of the newspaper. The newspaper effect is absolutely massive. I went from probably just about 1,000 ish to over 20,000 just on the publish of the newspaper. It's obscene. It's an obscenely large effect, and I really think it is a problem with the game that some one thing like the newspaper should have such a massive effect on the income. I think that's a real balance problem. For some reason, these people aren't interested in upgrading, even though all of their needs and happiness are fulfilled. Because I got rid of all of the artisans, it seems like they've just now decided that they don't want to. So I don't know what that's about. What's he unhappy about? He's unhappy about um, good news. Keeps your people in good spirits. Okay. I mean, they're doing all right. It's fine. I don't. They all want to be upgraded, and they're all happy. And they're oh, well, you're not happy. You're a bad example. There's always one, but they're all happy. So I don't know what their problem is. So I don't know. Anyway, they don't want to be upgraded. So other than that, you see we've got some spare capacity.
No space left here.
So we've got some spare capacity on framework knitters. We
I'll
can
put my
probably
feet up.
switch that off. We can switch that off. Anybody else? While she's putting her feet up, you really are running max. I mean, I messed around with some of the layout, and I moved some things about in bits and pieces to balance this and that and everything else.
We can't shut the
Yeah, we
store
are
until-
rammed with beer. I can tell
Stand to
you
attention
that
for
we
the boss.
are rammed with beer, and we're rammed with framework knitters. But that's only because of the newspaper effect. Production is
Halt the
paused.
conveyor!
Yeah, we are really full with that. Um, don't think there's anything else I can really finely tune, to be honest. I tried and I tried and I tried, but
New orders, Admiral.
but there you go. So no, not you. You. Where are we at? We are at. We got a lot of schnapps. We got an awful lot of clothes. We got. I should probably make some sales. Where's the sale guy? He is there. I can make some sales for some more boaties. Although I got investors now, so we don't know, but I'll make a few sales. We need some clay and bricks. Doing well with pigs. Doing okay with bread. Doing okay with soap. We're fine with beer because we got oodles of it. We have oodles of glass. We did have, for some reason, oodles and oodles of rum, which I moved over to the other island because I needed it. And we have oodles of luxury goods, which I absolutely need to move at some point for the investors. So that's Remedy. Over here to our main island, and we have been busy. And I have been particularly busy since my income shot up because I need things. What are these guys complaining about now? Nothing in particular. They just can't go up because I probably don't have enough like bricks or something for them to be able to be upgraded.
Absurd.
Well, you seem to be doing okay, so I don't know why you're unhappy. Anyway, over here we're building a cargo ship, but we can now build monitors And these things, flamethrower monitors, they're just awesome. I need 15 big guns. So to get the big guns, I need to go to, I think it's engineers. I need to make advanced weaponry. That, you need to get that, which is a saltpeter works. We've already got all of that. You need to make dynamite, so you need to get a saltpeter works, which I think, yeah, is a harbour. No harbour over there. I think we've got space over there. So sorry, turn around. The saltpeter works could go there. Then you need a dynamite factory, which is improved by elastic trickery. I could put it there. I could put it all the way over there and put a road around, because I can just go straight to workers and put a paved road around the back here, because I ain't using it. What? Oh, no clay. Well, that's alright. Just the dirt road will still carry the electricity this far, I am sure. Yep, there you go. See, the electricity line's right there. So we need to get some of those things up and running, and we will do that when we got enough money. So at the minute I am making hay while the sun shines, which is also part of the game, right? When times are tough, you just have to downscale everything, switch off everything that you can, run to your basic necessities. At one point, I was in the red. I'm not going to lie, and I thought that was it, and that was the end of it. And I was praying and praying and praying for the newspaper to come along. But in the interim, I went around and I switched off all the non-essential things, and I went back to the basics in terms of looking at stuff. And you see, they're all now happy, and it's to do with clay and clay bricks and things. So on that, I did have a trade route, which was this trade route here. And the reason I stopped it was because can I make it go again?
Ship constructed.
Resume. Yeah, it was because I was terrified of how much it was costing. So I was bringing bricks. He is, where is he? He's over here, I think. The Axum. Is that the Axum?
Schooner reporting.
Yeah, the Axum too. Yeah, he's going up to old High Clarence Hall because he produces.
I present
and
my humble duty to you.
Thank you. An endless supply of bricks and sewing machines. So I was buying bricks and sewing machines, but it's like 25,000 a pop, which is great. I mean, it helps me, but I had to put an end to it because it was just proving to be so expensive. But I needed it to build up these resources. So I've now got all these people. I went through, I had a whole load of bricks, and I went through and I upgraded all of these roads that you can see through here. Oh, and I built a bank. Hello, bank. Sorry, I forgot to mention, you can't get investors without building a bank. It's monumentally huge. But there you go. Oh, and I also brought over the zoo and the museum. And look at how busy it is. I mean, this is on a quiet day. It's usually like rammed with people. I don't know what it's doing for me. I mean, it's giving me loads of tourist influence and everything else. And yeah, I prettified some things. I put some assets in, and I put in some things here, and I put in some. So in an effort to increase the attractiveness and do all of the bits and pieces that I said that I probably would do this more of this game, I actually went ahead and did it. So we've got the bank, dun, 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 and we've got this hub. And I've put in another electricity place here. So we've got an electricity place here. We've got an electricity place over here. We've got an electricity serving this industry over here. So my intention is to use this to expand out this area and expand around this area some of these engineers and things, so that we can really start racking up the income, because I need that income. The issue with these people is these darn sewing machines, wherever they are. Where are you, sewing machines? You're up here. Canned goods has been a problem, and rum. I can't I can't actually make any more rum in the new world. I need to see how I might be able to do that. But the issue that I have is that when I don't have enough bricks at the minute to upgrade everybody. When I try and make more rum in the new world, I end up messing up my supply chains for things like plantains and tortillas, and then everybody gets unhappy and they don't make money and they everything else and everything else and everything else. So fine. Let us continue to upgrade these people to investors because we are going to need quite a few investors. And you can see that they have some special needs here. So they need cigars, they need champagne, which we can't make, we can only buy in. Chocolate, we've got bucket loads of that. Steam carriages, I never made the last one, but you need 5,000 of them anyway, and we're going to need an awful lot of them. I think we said 5,000 as part of our victory conditions, which is, or did we say 2,500? 2,500, I think, for our victory conditions. But we are going to need a lot of them because we are going to need to build this thing. Well, that's a monument. There seems to be no other monument. So I'm assuming after you build the World Fair, which can only be built here, essentially, um, we we get an option on another one. I suppose we could build it here-ish, there-ish. Is that? No. I always get this wrong. It's not exactly flat land. I suppose they don't care, do they? Is it flatter up here? It's kind of it's a bit flatter here. I mean, the obvious other thing is you go in here and we remove a whole lot of people. So we could like move these people out here, move these people in there, and then have the World's Fair in the middle, which might make a little bit more sense. Sorry, a bit janky with the camera. Yeah, might be better to make it there. Have a think on that. This is what is this that I'm waiting on? I'm trying to keep my eye on the needs for the engineers over here because I really do want to change some of these people, but as you can see, we need 155 farmers. So there you go. Anyway, those are the things. Those are the things. Those are the things. We have these people whose needs are largely happy. Trade route wise, well, we've been working on that. We're working on the trade routes a bit because, for example, if I clear these filters, because I think they're all no, they're not. They are clear. So not this beer one. No, I think it's things like this one for an absolute fact. We've been upgrading to the newer cargo vessels, which carry more and are faster. But you can see he's quickly loading up with bolts of cloth because we don't need so much bolts of cloth at Han Barenga, I don't think. So let me have a look. I think we're full. So I probably need, yeah, we're nearly full. So I probably need to go through and adjust some of the trades again where we actually have a significant excess. Once again with this game, you see that we've just ended up with so many trade routes. You just end up with so many trade routes and so many trades that are just happening all at the same time. Keeping track of them can be quite tricky, I tell you. But there you go. Remedi. I think I said you guys are full, so I think you can go all the way to the top because you're going to Curacao to Pomba. And we had to shut some of those off, so I might even, yeah, 480. I might even let's try adding a little bit extra spice and see what that does, because we're also taking these guys. So there you go. I think everybody's doing okay. Everybody's doing okay. Dave. Bricks, bricks, and bricks. He's almost at High Clarence Hall. Let's have a look. Let's see what this trade costs us. Where is he? There he is. Let's turn on to regular speed.
We assist however we may.
What should we do? Speed it up a little bit here. Right, he's got a rock in there. There's a little bit of a delay.
So he's going to load up. And we'll see what this drops to. Takes a while for money to change hands. Yeah, there we go. 450 to 419. So that's actually 30,000. In current money, that's 30,000. So it's a heck of an expensive trade. Like I said, a heck of an expensive trade. A boatload of bricks and a boatload of sewing machines. So I don't do it that often. As an absolute result of that, but I do need it here because I can't do anything about. It seems like I can't do anything about sewing machines here. Even though I got plenty of this stuff, I got plenty of steel. I don't know. I don't have a lot of this stuff, wood, which is a problem. I have a lot of planks. Is that the plank guy? You can stop for a minute. Because this is my only wood producer, and it's not very efficient. It's like at 72%. But I think these guys have a lot of wood. Over here. What you got? No, 12. You've also got 500 planks. What are you doing? Yeah, you can also stop. Maybe I will adjust, because wood's cheap. I'll put this on the buy. And I'll put that on buy when I'm... Yeah, buy 100, 105 will be fine. That's fine. Let's get in some wood, because that might be what's holding up my sewing machines, is wood, not anything else. I don't think I can mix... Can I mix wood with huts? You can mix wood with huts without too much detriment, it looks. So he's at 89. I don't think I can get... because that's the charcoal kiln. So what about... it kind of messes with those a little bit. That's alright. Let's put another one of those there. Oh, I do wish you would work. What about out here? You're gonna mess with that one a bit, aren't you? Can't really... Yeah, I'd be going out into this lot, which is awfully close. What about out on the end, like? That was a 100 almost there, was it? No, it must have been a mistake. Can't mess with them. Well, it's 98 right there. Right on the end of the road. There you go. Right, so that might help a little bit. This is my police station, and I'm mindful of the fact, like I said, because I've been pumping the propaganda. I think they've eased off with the propaganda effect now, have they? No, he's still not happy about it. Not happy. Yeah, just make sure you have some police stations dotted around the place, which I definitely do. Right, another investor. Time for another investor. Oh, we've had some bricks come in. No, what's the problem? Just time. Time
No
is the
need for
problem.
hyperbole, but thank you.
Yeah, just time is the problem. They'll get there eventually. So yeah, so there you are. So we're moving on. We're doing what we need to do. We got to balance a few things on the trade side of things. Actually, more so because we have too much, not because we don't have enough. But this is going to mess with things. So having these investors come in is going to mess with things. We have. This is the thing with this. For some reason, it doesn't show you the number of investors. 165 is how much we've got. So that is until pipes. Pipes. Oh, that's the members club. Oh yeah, I need to build a members club. Yeah. So we don't have very many. We don't. We don't have very many, and we need to think about this walloping great big monument, because that is one of our game conditions. So we need to think about, and it takes quite a bit of time, and we need to keep our economies ticking along until then. In terms of island shares over here, we're all good, we're all good, we're all good. Nothing's changed. Ooh, Archer has bought a bit of bad crux, which is jolly good for him. No one's bothered me in a while, really, because frankly I haven't been making a lot of money. When his shares are at 46,878 and mine are at 19, but they'll come sniffing along soon. Everybody's got he's got investors on that island. He's got investors on that island. That must be his main island. Diplomacy wise, I have been working on ceasefires
You'll
with
have
these
to vie
people.
for it.
Oh, that's right.
Call that a storm.
They wanted
Why,
money, and I didn't have any
Let's
at
up
the
the
time.
ante.
But
I also have my wife and children.
I
to
do
think
now,
about.
so they can leave me alone for a bit. He's fine. Non-aggression pact 2 hours. Don't really want an alliance because he is, I believe, still at war with von Mulching, and I don't want to be at war with von Mulching. So I haven't approached either of those two about alliances.
Proud to be exactly
But
what my father wasn't. A traitor. God
Oh.
save the Queen.
Okay. So anyway, so that's all good, and all good. And like I said, economically, I'm at 46. He's at 48. No, interestingly enough, Von Mulching's ahead of him temporarily on 49. But everybody's good for a couple of hours. Nobody's going to bother me. That leaves my trade ships alone. That lets me to get on with doing what I'm doing. So I'm skirting around these people and not worrying about it. And you can see that during the time we have been talking, I'm nearly back up to 500,000, which is fantastic. And I've got some excess stuff here, which is, well, I'll switch that one off. Because so yeah, so some things to do, some stuff to move around. I think I'm gonna prepare room in
I have you
here
down as a worry.
for the monument. So I'll need to move some people around and move this and move that and move a few other bits and pieces. Balance out those trays, like I've said. Work on upping the investor count to 2,500, and when it is at 2,500, hopefully we'll see where we get there with things like trade, because we need to build this, because we need the dynamite factory. We didn't build the dynamite factory, did we? Did we look at the dynamite factory? Or it's this one here, isn't it? This is the dynamite factory. Yeah, so it's on my list of things to do to get the big guns so that I can make the big boats. Oh, we got a cargo ship.
Oh, the crane.
So here's what I found out about trade routes in these cargo ships. So let's say you get a new cargo ship and you're like, oh blimey, how do I go about sorting this out? And you go, well, what do we want to shift? And ideally you want a route where you're picking up a lot of things. However, I have sorted those out already. So what else are we sending to the new world? Well, this is a lot, and that's a lot. So this is let's have a look at this one. Which boat is on this? The Europa, right? So that's fine, and the Europa has some chocolate, but we won't worry about it in a minute because I think the storage is full, so we can just stop that for now. You go here, and you see at the bottom it says exchange ship. So what we need to do is we need to find out what that was called. What was it called? It's called the Ave Maria. So the Ave Maria, we want to go with this one, say, and we've got the Europa. We go to exchange ship, and we just look for the Ave Maria, and you just exchange. That's it. It's done. That'll then go off and do something magical. Um, what will happen is it this
Ready
one?
the ropes?
No, that's the Theseus. Wherever the Europa is, who is this way over here?
Ready for assignment.
What? Oh, it's because my map is turned around. That's why. I'm like, what's going on over here? Wrong side of the map, but you're on the correct side of the map. The sorry, the Ave Maria, which is
Aye.
here, I think just basically starts the trade run, and then we'll find the Europa, which has now become idle, so it's probably on the new world. Nothing in transit still. Let's see who's in the new world, or who's in transit. These are all my ships in transit. Now, why is that not showing up in transit? I have all these ships in transit. So that's the Europa, just left. So what it'll do is it'll head off to the place that it's going to, and then stop when it gets there. So these are all my ships. So you can see I've got quite a few trade routes running between the old world and the new world now. And there's a couple here that are traveling by themselves, which I need to get escorts on, especially that one, for example, the Barnacle. But the Barnacle is quite tough, and these ships are quite fast, so they can outrun a lot of things, and most of these are being escorted. That's what the numbers are. There's 3 ships. So it shows you that I've got 2 gunboats and the Prospero, which is my oil tanker, and this is what one is this. This is the Theseus. Is leaving already. So yeah, so you can see I have an awful lot of boats going backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards. So I got an awful lot of trades to go and iron out, as it were. So there you go. That's how you quickly change a trade route, and that's how you go and
Ollie, I'm reporting in.
there she goes. So from us now, it is bigger guns, bigger guns, so that we can build, particularly the flamethrower monitor. I mean, it's vicious, eats its way through timber ships, and the pirates all have timber ships. Let's go have a look at the pirates. Where are they? Where's your boats, mate? And they're all out to sea. Yeah, timber ship, timber ship, timber ship. They don't do metal ships. Yeah, timber ship. So the flamethrower monitors just eat their way through them. You want anything else eaten through armored hulls and things, that's for NPCs, but we don't. The pirates, just flamethrower monitors is the way to go. So even just one per escort, which is fantastic. They really are vicious. Yeah. So there you go. That is that. That is that. That is that. Yeah, I will. Well, what we got? We got any milestones to get to before I can call you back in? It's going to be a long slog before we get to 2,500 investors. That's for sure. So that might be quite some considerable distance away. This might not be the flamethrower monitor. So yeah, so I think what I'll do is I will get on with changing a few things, moving a few things around, sorting a few things out, and I will call you back for a quick, brief discussion and have a look at where we're at once I have moved all this about, made room for the monument, and once we've sorted out our trade routes and maybe got our first flamethrower monitor out of the shipyard. How's that? Sound like a plan, Stan? In that case, what's wrong with this guy? What does he need?
No chance that'll sprout here, boss.
Oh, I see. I need that saltpeter stuff. Oh, there's my mistake. But I thought you could just go and build one of those. That was a bit of a waste of time, money, and effort. Thank you to everyone who noticed that. Oh, and I can't build one here. So we've got to buy it in. Right, okay. Well, in that case, let's set this to buy. Although I do know, we'll have a look at the trade in a minute. Here it is, saltpeter. Buy when under 100. It's going to cost me an arm and a leg too, isn't it? If we go and have a look at the trade routes, you can only do this through create trade route. It's a bit of a nuisance. He's got timber. Who was it? Someone had saltpeter earlier. It's not you, is it? No, you don't do anything like that. They might be mulching. Maybe he's not got up for sale anymore. Oh yeah, he's requesting it himself. So, well, if no one's got it, we might all be in trouble, because if no one's selling it, then who's got it? What about the New World? Anybody got anything like that in the New World? I don't know if it's a fertility thing in the New World or not. No, Catawak Whack. I don't think it's a fertility thing. Well, that's going to be interesting. I'm going to have to figure out how to resolve that minor problem. Did a ship just disappear? Yeah. So, there you go. Well, that might be a reason to bring you back, because trying to make this thing, making a dynamite factory is all well and good, making a dynamite factory, but how am I gonna build something if I ain't got none of that saltpeter? That's interesting, isn't it? Right, welcome back again. I confess that I did say I was going to bring you in when I built my first monitor. I've already built one. In fact, I built two. Actually, I built three, but that's okay, and I'll explain why that's okay in a minute. I'm looking at my score again, mostly for my playtime, which is 35 hours. So I've been going for 35 hours. So I put a little bit. I put a little bit of time in. Right, here we are. Here's what we're currently sitting over here at Hambaringa. Before we jump in and have a look at any of the other islands, a little bit of expansion out here. I promoting people and using up the space and making money and doing all kinds of bits and pieces. I obviously moved all of the people out of here and built room for this thing, so we're still working up the resources for it. Iron in particular and windows in particular seem to be a bit of a struggle. Can't really buy, sorry, not iron, steel. Can't really buy the steel in because nobody's selling it. We're making windows, but every time I upgrade one of these people, you will see that it uses up windows. So there you go. So I upgrade people, I lose windows. Investors wise, we are where are we? 1,540. 1750 to get to the next level of our investors. I don't know why he's unhappy. Oh, the members club. That's right. They're waiting on the members club, which is here. It takes a surprising amount of stuff to build. So again, waiting on some steel beams coming in so I can build that members club. But it's got quite a wide area of influence. You can see the blue. So it does go out quite a bit. My intention is that the central piece is kind of like the hub of where the investors will be. It's where the electricity is mainly supplied to. We obviously have the zoo and the museum in the area, which adds to it. We have things like the theater, and we have things like the university, and we have all kinds of other things which are all adding to the attractiveness of this central square area. It's kind of central to the island, nice and flat. You got the ports all on either side. So this is really the kind of focal point of the island. So this is where I'm putting the main build. I had to do a little bit more farming and things out here to cover up some space and make some balance, some production chains and things. We're still not quite 100% on the brewery, and we're still not 100% on the brewery. That said, I've had to bring in grain for my own
And glad
malting
of our
works.
trade. Most
So I've been scavenging around and doing some trading, and I'll talk about that briefly. We're not keeping up with our production at the minute, and the beer is dropping, and we will need to sort that out. And I'll slow down while I'm talking because I don't have time to go and fix these things. So we're slowing down on beer.
Is that on your
Over here, they're doing stably okay, but I don't wanna take too much beer away from them. They don't actually need any hops. So I think I have a trade route with hops. So it's this one. So, the Griffin is loaded up. That may be why I am having problems with malt. Where is the Griffin? The Desdemona, the Sharp Gust, the Barnacle, the Griffin. Right, let's jump to you. You are just overly loaded with hops, which I can get rid of. Oh, what a waste of hops, you're saying. Don't worry, I got plenty. It's not a drama, but that is probably causing me one of my major problems. So yeah, so there you go. So this island is coming along well. It's coming along fine. I've got another flame monitor in the works to be built, which is great. I'm buying in saltpeter, and I have my large weapon works, which is here.
We take to wearing hard hats here.
Making heavy weapons for me, which is fantastic. I've built a little few more extra defenses out here, just because, and trying to balance a few things. But essentially, I'm waiting on stuff for this and stuff for that, and doing a little bit of balancing and whatnot. And yeah, I want to talk about that in a minute. Over here, done nothing really. They're doing fine. I keep an eye on it. I drop back every now and again. I have a look and see what's going on, but essentially nothing's going on. In the new world over here, Curacao de Pomba, yeah, I mean, doing fine. The oil situation is. What do you want to do? You want me for? Yeah, sure.
the most favorable result?
Yeah, we're really spanking the oil out of this,
Stations.
which is fine. This grey goblin is picking up. Grey goblin needs an escort. Doesn't have one.
New orders, Admiral.
One of mine. Yeah. So I mean, we're really soaking up all the oil, which is fantastic. That's what this place is for. I don't need a huge stockpile of oil here. In terms of everything else that we've got going on, all good. We've got enough food. We've been doing some jiggery pokery with the rum to supply back on the old world with more rum, and same with the coffee and things, because we're not really making enough. But yeah, otherwise everything's okay here. Back at Cruzamita, more or less the same. I don't think there's anything funky going on. Everything looks good. Everything looks good. Everything looks good. Nothing problematic happening. What I did notice was, so what I've been doing is where I've been identifying things that aren't quite working, I've been jumping in to see what I can buy from people. So I go around here and I say, oh, Gasparograd has 349 coffee for sale. I really need coffee. Now, as I've said to you before, what happens with these trade routes is if you set up a trade route with I'll just go and I'll pick 20, quite quickly the coffee will vanish. You'll maybe run twice and he'll decide that he doesn't want to. So it's not like it becomes a constant trade route. So instead, what I do is I get a big cargo ship, and I just go over there once, and I load up with all of his coffee, basically, and I come back. And as soon as you do that, it just says he's no longer selling coffee, which is fine, because if you've got like a cargo ship with a 4 slot in it, you've already picked up 200 coffee, and that's great, and you just do that. So that's what I've been doing. When I've seen the need for stuff, so I've been moving some things around. So you can see that they often have quite a lot of things. I did notice Von Mulching over here. 246 beer. Why has he got so much beer over here? Which is a bit odd, because I could do with beer back in the old world, to be fair. I don't think there's anything else over here I really need. He's got all kinds of stuff, but he's right there, so I can just send one ship over there and just grab an absolute truck ton of beer if I want. And I might have to do that. Nothing else happening over here, I don't think, or over here. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing with trade. It's a little bit micromanaging, and it's a little bit fiddly, and it's a little bit of a pain, but it really does help in the short run, because you can load up with 200 of something, and it takes a little while for it to work out. But you get loads of things saying your trade routes don't work, because as soon as you buy it, they stop selling it, which is fine, because they're set to sell only above a certain threshold value, and once you've bought everything, then they're below that value and they stop selling, and blah 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 blah, whatever. You can see, if you have a look in the top left hand, that I am currently making plus 33.29 thousand a turn, a click, or whatever you call it, a tick. And I've got 1.95 million. I had way more than 1.95 million at one point, but I'll explain what I did with that. And what I did with that was all in shares, because I went out and I bought some shares. So I bought some shares in this guy. So you see that my total share income is plus 11,000, because there's no point. It's nice to have a cushion of money, and a cushion of 1 million is good. I've got nearly 2 million. So if you have the money, it pays to buy Island shares, because you get that additional share income, which you wouldn't get of having the money. So you're investing in getting more income, which is better for you than just having lots and lots and lots of cash. But if you buy too much, they get upset about it, and you need to manage your diplomacy to make sure. And if you buy all of them, you get that island, which they're very unhappy about. But there you go. So I've just been buying bits and pieces here and there, and that one's a really small one, and that doesn't seem to be a problem. And this one wasn't a particularly good one. In fact, it's not actually earning me anything. It was earning something, but it's clearly gone broke or something. And this is earning me a little bit over here and things. So there's little bits and pieces, but I mean, I could maximum possible shares 518, 2,000. What would it take to buy that? It would take 192,000. We can do that.
I firmly believe art should be shared by all.
So my share income is nearly 8,000, nearly 12,000 now from that, which is fine. And what is his? What's this one? 1,460 something. And I'm still at 1.79 million. What's that cost? 122. We can take that. So I've been investing in these things.
To tussle for my island. Perhaps
Yeah. So
Gained an influence bonus.
So I'm working on the economic angle here. So that's 12,127. If we go back to the old world and we have a look at what's happening in the old world, let's have a look at the island shares. This one, that one's expensive. I mean, yeah, if you wanted one of those, it's over 1 million. I haven't gone that far yet. This one was expensive enough. Schicksburg. This one was 1 million and something. Now the benefit is, with it being so expensive, it's also very expensive for him to buy back. So I'm making quite a chunk of money off that one. to be fair. In fact, almost all of it, 11,443 of my 12,190 is coming from that one island. But that's his highest island with investors in it. And you've got other little islands and things like that and all the rest of it. I think I had like one of Gasparov's islands over here, or one of these or something. But he bought it back again. He hasn't bought that one back. But I don't want to muck them about too much. So if you go to diplomacy, I mean they're still high, 93 and 96. They're not going to do anything daft anytime soon. 93 and 96, not a problem. These guys I've currently got a ceasefire going with them. I don't. What do they want for
I'd rather
peace
kiss
treaty?
a monkey's dung beak.
I don't know what a monkey's dung bee is, but it doesn't sound good. What does he want?
We can hold our own.
Let's sort that
My
out.
people will be glad to hear it.
Move him into a non-aggression pact for a while, and then I don't have to deal with it. Yeah, so there you go. So that's the situation. So we've done pretty well. We've got, I mean, I hate to say it, but we've got a nice cushion of money, 1.7 million. We're managing the newspaper situation, so that's keeping our income high internally. They still don't like it. Sorry, I wanted you to see you can obviously see that they're still not happy about the fact that I'm using propaganda, but it's the only way to make money. it really is the only way to make money. In terms of that, this island is making quite a lot. I still can't get Remedai to make money. Still can't. Minus 2. I've tried my best, but it's feeding a lot of this. So this 30,000 that's in the positive is offsetting this minor 2.5 where it's definitely not in the positive. And the other islands on the New World is the same. They're more or less in the black, but they drift sort of. Certainly, Curacao de Pombo is fine. Cruzamite occasionally drifts down into the red, but otherwise we're all good. Oh look, and there's my monitor. So you can see it. I don't know why they talk like this.
I'll admit, your people are willing to fight.
So I think it's the Grey Goblin. What's happening down here?
You do what you have to
Who is
protect your own.
I don't know, but he looks like he probably needs to be. Is that the Grey Goblin? No, the Desdemona, but it doesn't have an escort. So it's going to get an escort. That has an escort. And I probably need to replace something like that with a cargo ship as well. So I probably need to get another one of my cargo ships on the go, which is fine, and probably another one of those for now. And that'll set me up. And I probably burned all of my steel again. Yeah, I still need steel. I need to stop building things so I can build up this steel, or find someone who's selling steel. I have a steel works, but I've also got lots of people making demands on my furnaces. These guys are still not.
I'm missing particular materials.
Yeah, they're complaining about the artisanal kitchen. Something for me to have a look at. Anyway, there you go. So I thought I'd say it's been about, I don't know, maybe about another 4 or 5 hours. I can't remember. If you go back and look at my other video, it tells you about the hours gameplay. You'll be able to work it out. Yeah, so we're here. We're waiting on this thing. We're really waiting on this thing. To be honest, the members club, because this is an eventually nice to have. But for right now, I want to get that together. And I want to work on getting all of the investors up to well, maybe not gramophones, but certainly we need to get past jewelry. And the issue with jewelry is I don't have any. I'm not making any. You need pearls, and you can't trade it until you unlock it. So if we look at the trade, for example, and we go and have a look, Schicksburg has 543 of them, but I can't trade it. It's offered. So if I click that, and I click that, and I go here, and I go to load up. It doesn't. I'm not allowed to load it in advance because I don't have a market for it. So I can't do that. So it doesn't let me do it. So I need to wait. So I need to get these guys up to 1750 to unlock that. And to do that, I'm going to also need to get this members club built to make them a little bit happier. So that's where we are. So yeah, so that's a few hours, and I feel like honestly I'm kind of grinding time now, because we are making enough money, and everything is more or less stable. Shall we say? I don't really need more people right now for the amount of money that I'm making. I don't need to fill this up with residences. I can go around, and I have been, I don't know if you've noticed, but there's little areas that I've been prettifying, and I can go around and prettify these blank areas up to increase the attractiveness and try and get more visitors, more visitor income. I still have a visitor pier over here.
I see the same old faces
It's
whenever I come here.
it's not really making me a lot, because they still don't like it in terms of attractiveness. Where are we with the island info? The attractiveness is ordinary, as in a bachelor with a fine personality. So, but I don't need much to go up to the next level. So, I mean, I guess the idea is that I want to try and increase to whatever the next level is. I don't know. I've never been up through this, but it's certainly something to work on in terms of attractiveness. And I've got space, and I've got a bit of time, and while I'm sort of like waiting for the goods to come in for this stuff, and while I'm kind of micromanaging trade, I can always jump in and chuck in a little bit of temperate woodland around the edges or something, and prettify it. But anyway, that's it. So yeah, so stay tuned. We're into the final furlongs, as they say. We're clicking along above everything. We've got more than enough wealth. We've got ways of making more than enough income. We've got more than enough population. We're working our way towards the monument, so it shouldn't be long until we tick all of the victory boxes for what we've said will be our victory conditions. So yeah, so that's it. So stay tuned, and what do they need?
We are missing all the elements to produce a
Oh,
reaction.
of course you are. So yeah, stay tuned. Drop a like. Do subscribe. I'm ticking along very well on my subscribers. Thank you very much to everyone who has subscribed. We're almost there. We're also in the final furlongs towards 200. It'd be great to get to 200 before the end of January, and with the way things are going, that should be easily achievable to get to more than 200 subscribers before the end of January. And drop me any comments, anything you like, dislike, anything you want to see, any changes you suggest that I make. And also any thoughts for any new series or new chapters coming along. I mean, one of the things I've been toying with at the end of this one is, if we get into a successful place, is what about the victory condition is a conquer von mulching or something. Put in a bonus victory condition at the end, albeit that means an awful lot of work. so just do be aware of that when you're looking at things like that as a possible secondary condition. Is his military might is 439. Now a lot of that is his islands, but a lot of it is military boats and various other bits and pieces as well. I've seen battleships and stuff cruising around. So we would have to most definitely take a very studied approach to how we would tackle that kind of a thing, such as getting rid of von mulching. Yeah, I mean, definitely there is 460 military might for Gasparov, so he's definitely ahead. Economically, von Mulching's still ahead, although I'm trying to creep up on both of them, but it just seems like we're pretty much stuck there. So anyway, there you go. Just a thought. Enough waffle from me. That will do for now, and I'll carry on, and I'll bring you in when we do something meaningful, probably like completing stage 1 of this. Until then, ta-ta for now.
sont